Imagine a map of Asia. Now, imagine a region historically dominated by one colossal power, a region where geopolitical currents have flowed in a predictable direction for decades. But what if a vibrant, strategically vital nation within that sphere suddenly extended an offer, a hand of partnership, not to its traditional allies, but to an emerging global superpower? And what if that superpower, with its own grand ambitions, didn't just consider it, but embraced it, transforming a seemingly localized overture into a massive geopolitical tremor? Well, that's precisely what's unfolding. China has formally and emphatically accepted Bangladesh's offer, a move that's sending shockwaves from New Delhi to Washington. This isn't just about trade or aid. It's about a fundamental re-evaluation of regional power dynamics, a direct challenge to long-held assumptions, and a bold statement about who holds influence in the Indo-Pacific. Get ready, because what we're about to uncover will redefine how you see the geopolitical chessboard in South Asia. Stick around, because this is a story you absolutely cannot afford to miss. Section 1, Bangladesh's strategic crossroads, the Look East and Look West balancing act. To fully grasp the significance of China accepting Bangladesh's offer, we must first understand Bangladesh's unique geopolitical position and its increasingly complex foreign policy balancing act. Historically, Bangladesh has maintained a robust, if at times challenging, relationship with its much larger neighbor, India. India played a pivotal role in Bangladesh's liberation in 1971, fostering a deep, albeit sometimes fraught, historical bond. For decades, Bangladesh's foreign policy has largely revolved around this relationship with India, along with its ties to the Western world, particularly the United States and the European Union, which are crucial for its ready-made garment, RMG, exports and development aid. This has often been characterized as a Look West strategy, focusing on markets and partners that drive its economic engine. However, in recent years, Bangladesh has been increasingly adopting a pragmatic, Look East policy, driven by its burgeoning economic ambitions and a desire to diversify its partnerships. This isn't a sudden shift, but a gradual evolution, propelled by the need for massive infrastructure development, technological advancement, and new avenues for trade and investment that traditional partners might not fully provide. Bangladesh is a nation of immense potential. With a population exceeding 170 million, it's one of the world's most densely populated countries. It has achieved remarkable economic growth in recent decades, consistently maintaining a GDP growth rate above 6% before the global pandemic, and often exceeding 7%. It's on track to graduate from least developed country, LDC, status by 2026 and aims to become a developed nation by 2041. This ambitious vision requires colossal investment in infrastructure, ports, power plants, roads, railways, and technology. This is where China enters the picture. As a global economic powerhouse with vast capital reserves and unparalleled experience in large-scale infrastructure projects, China presents an attractive proposition. Beijing's Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, in particular, offers a framework for such collaboration, promising to connect Bangladesh to a wider regional and global trade network. China has already made significant inroads in Bangladesh. It is Bangladesh's largest trading partner, with bilateral trade exceeding $25 billion annually, albeit heavily skewed in China's favor. China is also a major source of foreign direct investment, FDI, and a significant provider of development assistance. Major Chinese-funded projects already dot the Bangladeshi landscape. The Padma Bridge Rail Link, a $3.1 billion project that will connect the country's southwest to the capital Dhaka via the iconic Padma Bridge, is a prime example. Other notable projects include the Payra coal-fired power plant, the Dhaka Elevated Expressway, and various upgrades to port facilities. These projects are transformative for Bangladesh's connectivity and energy security. The offer from Bangladesh is multifaceted. It's not a single, isolated proposal, but rather a strategic willingness to deepen engagement with China across multiple sectors. This includes enhanced economic cooperation, further infrastructure development under the BRI, potential military technology transfers, and increased diplomatic coordination on regional and international issues. It represents Bangladesh's desire for greater agency and diversification in its foreign relations, seeking to leverage its strategic location and growing economy for maximum benefit. This proactive approach by Bangladesh is driven by several factors. the need for rapid infrastructure development, the desire to attract more foreign investment beyond traditional sources, and perhaps a subtle hedging against potential over-reliance on any single partner. It reflects a maturing foreign policy that seeks to maximize national interests in a multipolar world. China, with its vast resources and ambitious global outreach, is uniquely positioned to meet many of these needs, making Bangladesh's offer an enticing prospect for Beijing. Section 2. China's strategic acceptance. The string of pearls, and beyond China's acceptance of Bangladesh's offer is a calculated and strategic move, fitting perfectly into Beijing's broader geopolitical objectives, particularly its string of pearls strategy and the overarching Belt and Road Initiative in the Indian Ocean region. For China, Bangladesh isn't just another developing nation, it's a critical piece of a much larger puzzle. The string of pearls refers to a network of Chinese military and commercial facilities and relationships along the Indian Ocean sea lanes, stretching from the South China Sea to the Arabian Sea. These pearls include ports in Myanmar, Kyaukphyu, Sri Lanka, Hambantota, Pakistan, Gwadar, and increasingly, Bangladesh. For China, securing access and influence along these routes is vital for its energy security, trade flows, and the projection of its naval power. Bangladesh's geographic location is incredibly strategic. It sits at the head of the Bay of Bengal, a vital maritime crossroads that connects South Asia with Southeast Asia and beyond. Control or significant influence over ports in Bangladesh enhances China's ability to monitor and potentially control key shipping lanes through which a significant portion of global trade, including China's own energy imports, passes. China's acceptance of Bangladesh's offer also aligns with its broader goal of expanding its economic footprint and diplomatic influence in South Asia, a region historically viewed as India's backyard. By deepening ties with Bangladesh, China aims to create a more balanced regional power dynamic, challenge India's regional dominance, and diversify its own partnerships to reduce its reliance on any single country. The offer, specifically the deepening of cooperation, extends beyond economic projects. There's a growing defense dimension. Bangladesh has been a significant buyer of Chinese military equipment for years. This includes submarines. Bangladesh acquired 2 Ming-class submarines from China in 2016, frigates, missile systems, and small arms. This military cooperation strengthens China's strategic presence in the Bay of Bengal and provides Bangladesh with modern defense capabilities. This is particularly concerning for India, which sees itself as the primary security provider in the region. Furthermore, China sees Bangladesh as a crucial partner in its larger vision for regional connectivity. The proposed Bangladesh-China-India-Myanmar (BCIM) economic corridor, though facing some political hurdles, envisions a network of road, rail, and water links connecting Kolkata to Kunming through Dhaka and Mandalay. While not fully materialized, China's continued engagement with Bangladesh through the BRI keeps the spirit of such grand connectivity projects alive. The acceptance also provides China with significant diplomatic leverage. As Bangladesh grapples with internal political dynamics, including upcoming elections and human rights concerns that have drawn scrutiny from Western nations, China offers an alternative model of partnership, one often characterized by non-interference in domestic affairs and a focus on economic development. This narrative appeals to many developing nations seeking to avoid conditionalities often attached to Western aid and loans. Statistics underscore the depth of this growing partnership. China's total investment in Bangladesh under the BRI framework alone is estimated to be well over $20 billion, with ongoing projects worth billions more. This dwarfs investments from any other single country in Bangladesh's infrastructure sector. In essence, China's acceptance of Bangladesh's offer is a strategic embrace of a vital South Asian nation. It's about securing critical maritime access, expanding its economic and military influence, challenging regional rivalries, and demonstrating an alternative development model that resonates with many emerging economies. For Beijing, Bangladesh is a pearl that is rapidly acquiring a brilliant luster. Section 3. The geopolitical fallout, India's dilemma and regional repercussions. The deepening relationship between China and Bangladesh, culminating in China's acceptance of Bangladesh's offer, is a geopolitical earthquake that directly impacts India's strategic calculations and raises profound questions about regional stability. For New Delhi, this is not just about a neighbor diversifying its friends, it's about a strategic encroachment into its perceived sphere of influence. India has long viewed Bangladesh as a crucial component of its neighborhood-first policy and its strategic depth. A friendly and stable Bangladesh is vital for India's national security, its connectivity to its northeastern states, the Chicken's Neck region, and its aspirations to be a leading power in the Indian Ocean region. The increasing Chinese presence in Bangladesh directly challenges these core interests. India's concerns are multifaceted. Firstly, economic dominance. China's massive infrastructure investments and growing trade relationship with Bangladesh are creating an economic dependency that could eventually translate into political leverage. While India remains a significant trading partner and source of investment for Bangladesh, China's sheer scale of investment in large-ticket infrastructure projects is unmatched. This economic shift could slowly erode India's traditional influence. Secondly, security implications. The provision of Chinese military hardware to Bangladesh, particularly naval assets like submarines, is a major concern for India. It raises questions about the balance of power in the Bay of Bengal and the potential for increased Chinese naval activity in a critical maritime zone. Indian strategists worry about dual-use facilities that could potentially serve Chinese military purposes in the future. Thirdly, the debt trap narrative. While Bangladesh has largely managed its debt responsibly, some analysts express concern that the scale of Chinese lending could eventually lead to debt distress, potentially forcing Bangladesh to concede strategic assets or political influence to China, similar to the situation seen in Sri Lanka with Hambantota port. This scenario is a major point of anxiety for India and other regional players. India's response to this growing Chinese influence has been a mix of increased engagement and strategic caution. New Delhi has ramped up its own development assistance to Bangladesh, extending lines of credit and initiating connectivity projects like the Agartala-Akhara rail link and the Feni Bridge, connecting India's Tripura state with Bangladesh. India has also emphasized cultural ties and historical bonds to reinforce its unique relationship with Bangladesh. However, India faces inherent limitations. Its economic capacity to match China's financial firepower for megaprojects is constrained, and its own domestic challenges often prioritize internal development. This creates a difficult dilemma for New Delhi: how to effectively counter China's growing footprint without alienating a crucial neighbor. The United States and its allies, including Japan and Australia, are also closely monitoring the situation. Bangladesh is a key player in the Indo-Pacific strategy, given its coastal access and growing economy. Washington has expressed concerns about China's rising influence in the region, particularly regarding transparency in lending and potential debt risks. The US has encouraged Bangladesh to diversify its economic partnerships and ensure strategic autonomy. For Bangladesh itself, this acceptance of its offer by China presents both opportunities and risks. On one hand, it gains access to much-needed capital and expertise for its ambitious development goals, accelerating its path to becoming a middle-income country. It also strengthens its diplomatic hand, providing leverage in its interactions with other major powers. On the other hand, there's the risk of becoming overly reliant on China, potentially limiting its foreign policy options and exposing it to geopolitical pressures. Balancing the interests of India, China, and the West while maintaining its own sovereignty and strategic autonomy is a formidable challenge for Dhaka. The geopolitical space for neutrality is shrinking, and Bangladesh finds itself navigating increasingly treacherous waters. This unfolding dynamic in Bangladesh is a microcosm of the larger struggle for influence in the Indo-Pacific. It highlights the strategic competition between established powers and rising ones, and the agency of smaller nations seeking to maximize their interests in a rapidly changing world order. The shocking geopolitical move is not just China accepting an offer, it's a recalibration of power that will resonate across South Asia and beyond. Section 4: The Path Forward, Navigating the New Indo-Pacific Chessboard. China's acceptance of Bangladesh's offer isn't a final act. It's an opening gambit in a high-stakes geopolitical game. The path forward for Bangladesh, India, China, and the wider Indo-Pacific will involve complex maneuvers, strategic adjustments, and continuous negotiation. For Bangladesh, the immediate future will involve managing the influx of Chinese investment and ensuring that these projects contribute sustainably to its development goals without compromising its national sovereignty or creating undue debt burdens. Dhaka will need to meticulously balance its economic pragmatism with its strategic independence. This means carefully scrutinizing project terms, diversifying sources of funding, and continuing to engage robustly with other partners, including India, Japan, the US, and the EU. Bangladesh's position is not merely passive. It has shown a clear capability to leverage its strategic location and economic growth to attract interest from multiple global players. Its ability to navigate these competing interests will determine its long-term success. Maintaining good relations with both India and China, while difficult, is seen by many in Dhaka as essential for its national interests. For India, the challenge is to deepen its engagement with Bangladesh in ways that are compelling and sustainable, without resorting to coercive diplomacy. This includes accelerating its own connectivity projects, increasing bilateral trade, offering competitive investment opportunities, and focusing on areas where India has a unique advantage, such as cultural ties, shared democratic values, and regional security cooperation. India's ability to offer a comprehensive, attractive alternative to China's checkbook diplomacy will be crucial. New Delhi is actively working on enhancing its presence in Bangladesh through various means. The Act East policy emphasizes connectivity and economic integration with Southeast Asia, passing through Bangladesh. Joint development projects, increased defense cooperation, and intelligence sharing are all part of India's strategy to maintain its strong relationship with Dhaka. For China, the goal is to solidify its gains in Bangladesh, transform its economic presence into lasting geopolitical influence, and potentially replicate this model with other nations in the region. Beijing will likely continue to offer attractive financing and project execution speed, capitalizing on the perceived gaps left by Western development partners. The ultimate aim is to solidify its position as a major, if not the leading, economic and strategic partner for nations in the Indian Ocean region. The broader implications for the Indo-Pacific are profound. This developing dynamic in Bangladesh will likely intensify the strategic competition between China and the US-led Quad Alliance, US, India, Japan, Australia. We can expect more emphasis on alternative development models, transparent lending practices, and security cooperation initiatives from the Quad as they seek to counter China's growing influence. This isn't just about economic competition, it's about competing visions for regional order. China's vision emphasizes economic interdependence and an emphasis on human rights or democratic governance, often characterized by non-interference. The Western vision, conversely, emphasizes a rules-based international order, democratic values, and transparent governance. Bangladesh's choices, and China's continued acceptance of its overtures, will have a significant bearing on which of these visions gains greater traction in the region. The shocking geopolitical move of China accepting Bangladesh's offer is not an isolated incident, it's a powerful symptom of a larger, ongoing rebalancing of power in Asia. It signals a new era where smaller nations are increasingly asserting their agency, and where traditional geopolitical alignments are being re-examined in the pursuit of national interests. The future of South Asia, and indeed the broader Indo-Pacific, will be shaped by how these complex relationships continue to evolve. So, there you have it. China's acceptance of Bangladesh's offer isn't just a news story, it's a powerful illustration of a new geopolitical reality taking shape before our eyes in South Asia. It challenges established norms, tests the resilience of existing alliances, and highlights the complex interplay of economics, politics, and national interest on the global stage. What do you think about this profound shift in the Indo-Pacific? Do you believe Bangladesh is making a wise long-term strategic choice, or is it facing potential risks of over-reliance on China? How do you see this impacting India's regional standing and the broader balance of power? Your insights are incredibly valuable, so please, share your thoughts in the comments section below. Let's start a conversation about what this means for the world we live in. If you found this in-depth analysis insightful and thought-provoking, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel for more valuable content on global affairs, and don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. We're dedicated to bringing you the most crucial geopolitical developments as they unfold. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.